What's up?
Sure, man. How's it?
I'm alright, brother Dinsa.
Nothing, man. Just busy on some mixes and stuff.
Uh, so what's
Sure,
going
sure.
on, bro? For everyone who doesn't know you, just a quick intro and like, what do you do?
Yo, so I'm stuck, man. I got this nickname. How old am I now? Got this nickname about 17 back. Um, I was allergic to tin stuff and I had some allergies all over my body. And then my mom just said, from now on, you tin stuff. And that was it. I'm an audio engineer by
Yeah.
profession. Uh, I also have an IT degree, but I'm focused more on the audio side. Sometimes lockdown will make you regret to say, why didn't you go to IT? But yeah, I'm me, man. I'm very straightforward in whatever I do. If we agree on X, let it be X unless communicated otherwise. And if
Yeah.
that happens, then I'm an easy person.
So why audio, bro? How do you end up deciding this is something I'm really passionate about, I'm gonna chase it, I'm gonna study it?
Um, why audio? Me studying audio actually came as an alternative to studying IT. I didn't want to study IT. I've just never seen myself sitting in an office wearing a collared shirt and, hey, how are you? Good, thanks. Yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
You get the email. Yeah. Oh, cool. Don't forget the meeting tomorrow. And doing that for like 45 years of my life, I didn't see myself doing that. Anyway,
For
firstborn
sure.
Yakuntlung, my brother, um, he's not even an audio engineer by profession, but he's like in the top five mixing and mastering audio engineers in the country. And I think I've just been with him so long, ever since he won his first computer. I don't know if we have 2000s here, but 2000s won't even know the TV show called Tech 5.
Sure.
My brother won his first computer from the TV show Take 5. And he bought a little mic, and then my dad bought him his first guitar. And I've been there all the time. And I was in primary,
Yeah.
by the way. And I was in primary, and he was like doing all these songs. He was producing back then, not more in the mixing and mastering engineering side of things. He was producing, and I was like, fair. Like he's more of a hippie, so he's an
Yeah.
introvert. His music is wavy, if you get what I'm saying. But over and
Yeah.
above that, I think that's where the audio side came from. From a musical background, my dad used to conduct choirs back in his varsity days. And we just have this music in the blood, man. Just
Now you were destined to be in this game.
is it? Thanks, man.
Yeah, bro, you can see. So now, fast forward, you've now studied sound. How do you now navigate your way into like being in the main industry, like in mixing all the big shows and progressing to working with Shimza?
Relationships.
Yeah.
I think relationships is important than your skill. But you need your skill to show that person you're in a relationship with for them to see potential, to say, let's go. And when I mean relationships, I'm not saying husband and wife and all those things. But I'm talking about every person around you has something. And like, I think also being humble just takes you far, man. When I get to a venue, I greet everybody as if I don't know them, even if they're sitting on front of house mode master and they're not like in front of the console or whatever. I just greet them. You never know who that person could be or what. Not even regardless of what they would be, but it's a person. Greet them. And a lot of people have told me that they appreciated that, and that's how you get a lot of references to say, I need an engineer, or call that guy, call that. So it's not just about your skill. You have people that have doctorates and get a professor in whatever they're doing, but they chill at home or whatever.
Sure.
So your skill takes you from 0 to 30. Your attitude takes you from 30 to, let's say, 55. And your relationship handling skills takes you from 55 to 100. It takes a lot, yeah.
That's a very important point, because I mean, a lot of the people that I've had on here like to preach relationships, maintaining them and meeting the right people. But now for someone who just has the skill, like skill fella, avana, the XP, or like the right network, where do you encourage them to go and meet these people? First of all, like before we even maintain the relationship, where do I meet these?
Where do you meet who? The people
I have to maintain the relationship.
It depends on what industry you're in. So are we limiting this to our industry of entertainment, or in general as a human or whatever?
I think entertainment would be the easiest way to go about it.
Look, you can't be in entertainment and be like an introvert, which is weird because I'm an introvert. I like being at home and everything else. I don't like being on the streets. A lot of people think I like it. I don't like it. I love being in my space, but you need to burst that bubble and go out. If you're in entertainment and you love being home, who's going to know you? When are you going to meet people? Some of the people in the entertainment business, they don't answer their phones. So how are you going to build a relationship with somebody who doesn't answer their phone? So you just need to know, one, how to approach is key. Like, people don't even know, the people that are watching it don't even know that you and I started talking now on Wednesday or Thursday. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The approach is key. Hi, what are you? What do you want from me? Okay, can you do it or not? Be direct. People in entertainment are always busy because we are hustlers. Razola. It's literally every artist is a freelancer, if you look at it. Simply because we don't have a contract that says that staff will earn 100 Rand every day for 2 years. Therefore, you are a freelancer. You work today, you get paid today, and you wake up tomorrow looking for the next job. And us being that busy makes it difficult to have our communication strong. That's why a lot of people have managers and assistants and booking agents to handle that side of the business, because they know that I can't answer 25 calls a day saying how much is stuff.
Yeah.
That time I'm in a flight, or I'm in somewhere, or I'm out of the country, there's no reception, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just explaining the dynamics of communication. That's why when you DM someone, because most of the things happen via DM, luckily for you, you got my number through another person. And usually when somebody texts me on WhatsApp, it's like, okay, who are you? Yeah. You need to get the number. But when somebody DMs me, because honestly speaking, I'm not going to lie to you and give you guys a sales pitch and say, look, we respond to our DMs, or DM us every day. No, it's irritating sometimes because you have somebody, link, listen to this thing and let me know how you can assist me, and you know what I mean? And for me, that does not give me like a benchmark to say, okay, this guy did this. What can you do? Because in that very same DM, you can say, here's a link. I've attached something. I've realized that A, B, C, D, E does not sound okay. What are your thoughts? It already shows me that you've done your homework and research regarding the song or whatever, and you have an idea. Okay, kick, snare, your hi-hats are not sounding okay. Then I know how to help you.
Yeah.
You know, because and you're like, you sit down on the chair and the doctor's like, what's wrong? I don't know, and check. You're not giving the doctor anything. You get what I'm saying? You're not giving the doctor anything. But if you say, "Ish, Canelo Kofnia," they already have a direction on where to go. So like when you send artists DM or people that you want to work with in the entertainment industry, show them that, sorry about that, my bitch was just low. Show them that you've done some homework.
Yeah.
To say, I saw you go, guy, then I saw you, guy, again. I believe that A, B, and C was wrong. D, E, F was right. Please let me know what you think. You've already given that person something to run in the brain. To say, hey, man has already done research. We've met twice. I don't know. You get what I mean? And then automatically I'm like, okay, who is this guy? Then I'm interested in getting to know you. Then I'll respond to say what's what.
I mean, in that response alone, I mean, there's so many points that we can touch on, but like, I'm very interested.
Hi, baby. Sorry, I just had to say hi.
A lot of us are, a lot of us are like freelancers, right?
Yeah.
So when having a platform like Lockdown, what kind of advice can you advise engineers and creatives that don't have a platform like that to stay afloat in this time and like for creativity and getting work done and all of that?
If you get out of this lockdown with the same skill level, then you're stupid. Simple as that. We have Wi-Fi, we have training for free, we have some who don't have Wi-Fi, okay, great, but we have data.
Sure.
We have all sorts of tools and websites and whatever that you can train. YouTube is the best one. Two, like I just completed my Dante level 3 certificate just the other day. I only done until level 2 the other day, and it's free, right? If at the end of the day, it's like having a degree but not having a work experience. What's one? So you need to now take whatever you've done research on and find a platform wherever, however, to say, yeah, let me learn this. A lot of people get hired by being there. Unfortunately, now you can't just be there, because as soon as a non-familiar face enters the room, you're like, hey, oh, you're not like Corona, or who's this guy? You get there. So just be there. I mean, you were in the same varsity. You know, Christo has a lot of people that are standing there close to him.
Sure.
So most of the staff members now, about 80% are from ASE via reference. And then the other new guys, most of the interns were just there. You get what I'm saying? So if you are one, okay, Christo's setting up Call of Task, and I get day one of setup, you go there if you're free. That's how I got into the business. In 2015, my first outdoor show was Major League Gardens in Polokwane.
Yeah.
My first outdoor show was a show of Major League's magnitude. And what happened, I just knew the guy who runs the show. He didn't know that I was an audio guy by then. And I was there from day one. Parked my car in the middle of Polokwane rugby fields and looked at the stage go up. Slowly going up. And then he's like, I'm an jiga motown, you know? Let's go around. Because I know him. Wednesday, Batomala Sound. I wasn't in the car, I was there. Right? Learning. But I could automatically take the information that I received, go to textbook, and say, as much as I don't know what this bring, Maramo, Abachunicho. And literally, like the angles, like the line array angle, this top box was going to the sky and the bottom box was hitting the ground. So you're not getting a nice polarity out of that. Not polarity, sorry, a nice dispersion out of that system. And then that same guy, these things. Then I started doing that. And then on Thursday, the engineer that was supposed to run the show called that he's sick. And I was there. And that's how I knew the twins. From the twins, that's how I done the fill-up series with Cassper. And then First Friday celebration. First Friday celebration, the guy, Stan, cousin Shim, got to know Shimza, and then that's where I am now. So your relationships are very key, and just being there. I don't have a gig this weekend. Let me sit at home. What are you going to learn sitting at home? You're going to complete the DSTV bouquet that repeats the same show every 6 years? What?
All level of lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All level of lockdown. I mean, yeah, now you can watch Lockdown, but I'm talking about when life is normal. What's there to do sitting at home, you know?
Yeah. We have a question here. Ezra wants to know, how can artists improve their sound with live performance?
It depends, man. What sound, you know? The sound of their mic or the sound of their band or what? I mean, for me, I feel like, because we need to divide when you say artists. Some of us, we work with artists that are not even known in the commercial scene, but they're huge. I've worked in 2016, I've worked with an artist called Mango Groove, and they deal with sessionist musicians, but they sound as tight as they were the same band for 20 years. And if you know Mango Groove, they dance, 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 sing, dance, how about you? If 2000s won't understand that, but they've been the gig, and they still sound the same today as they were sounding 20 years ago. So, one, as just now he said, they're a band. You need to know what a band sounds like, you know? Maybe if I Google this thing and show you guys what instrument lies where. Instrument frequency spectrum.
You're doing it right now, really.
Instrument frequency. Like, it shows you what instrument lies where in the frequency. That automatically would, like, when you rehearse as a band, you should know that. Let me just check this guide quickly. No, it was giving me fundamentals. Oh, yes, no, it's there. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but the link, just go on Google and just type in frequency instrument spectrum. So sound is 20 hertz to 20K. We know that. And each instrument falls in its certain frequency spectrum. So even before you pick up an instrument and play, you need to look at what instrument you're picking up and where it lies in the frequency spectrum. Right? And then that will give you an idea to say, oh, I'm playing guitar. So there's no use if I'm playing guitar, but I sound like a bass guitar.
Oh, because you're playing in the wrong frequency. Input in the wrong frequency.
You know what I mean? So now when the bass guitar comes in, it's like, it's muddy and it's clustered. So we're not even talking about how good a musician is. We're just talking about what you are playing. Sure. A certain note that clashes
frequency
with
response.
Sorry? Frequency response, exactly. And like, if you just read that spectrum before, even you as an engineer, before you even push a knob, you know what knob you want to push for what instrument because you know where it should lie. And then that's a lot of people are missing it, and they blame the sound engineer. There's only much a sound engineer can do. Garbage in, garbage out. Literally, garbage in, garbage out. So if the band is not playing good, no engineer in the world can fix that. And then Mosa is saying in terms of production, how do you make the low frequency not suck up everything? You need to make space. A lot of the reason why low frequencies are sucking up everything, one, you could be using the wrong speakers. If you're using studio speakers, speakers that don't have a low frequency response, which means that, sure, I need to get technical, but
that's the whole point of the channel, bro. That's the whole point of the channel.
A speaker moves like this, right? Let me check. Let me see if I can switch on something here to show you what a speaker moves like. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Let me just mute that. USB entry, cool. I'm just going to look for any song on my list quickly just to show you what a speaker moves like. And da-da-da-da-da, my piano. Who asked that question? Musa, ne?
Musa, obvious. Piano boys.
No, I need a song with much more bass in there.
I don't waste time on this shit make me feel.
Nah, I need bass. Honey, where's my music? Where's my music? I'm gonna do gospel, because gospel got bass. There we go. I'm gonna put some low end here. Let me just change this quickly. So can you see that? So when a speaker moves like that, most of mother take it to school. So when a speaker moves like that, so we have low frequencies and high frequencies, right? Low frequencies are big and they move slower, but they move further. High frequencies are small, they move like that, and they move closer. Right? High frequencies don't go as far as wherever. That's why, Mosa, when we have a show in the cricket club, you hear the low end from your house, but not the top end. Because low frequencies move further and they're bigger. That's why you'll never find a 20-inch tweeter, but you'll find a 20-inch sub. So that's why a speaker is designed like that. It's a two-way speaker. Low frequency, high frequency. Right? So we have sub in a stadium, and then we have low, which will take us from like 60 hertz to like 120. And those are, sometimes if you see, we're flying subwoofers behind the PA. If you check at the Philip FMB Stadium, I did that. You fly subwoofers behind the PA. And then that is from 60 to 120. And then from 120 up until 20K, then you have your PA do the rest of it, the tops. But with that information, taking that into studio, and then when you mix and master your music, thinking about that, then your piano music will come out stronger. That's why I like listening to Mass Music's stuff. He has a clean master on his stuff, like a clean, not gonna lie. So let me just get a power bank for this thing quickly. He has a nice, where's my power bank? I went to studio earlier. There we go. So he has a nice tone on his music, even when you listen to it soft or loud. And a lot of people want to mix and master music when it's loud. It doesn't work that way. Are people going to listen to the song loud all the time? No. Some are going to listen to it soft. If you can't hear a certain frequency when you're playing loud, then you won't hear it when it's soft.
It's soft, yeah.
And that's basically it. But
you delve into mixing?
I saw a question earlier. I just can't see it on my side. Maybe you need to press it and check it on your side.
Let me pop it in here. Here it is. Biggest achievement so far?
Yo.
Tricky.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the Cassper Philip FNB sits in my top 3.
What are some of the things that you see you've learned? Because I mean, like just watching your journey, you travel a lot. I mean, you do a lot of sound internationally and all of that. What are you learning that side that you're implementing back home as well?
I feel like there's not much of a difference, and we get lost in saying Americans or guys from Europe are better than Africans. If we go into context of what we're discussing, you'd actually see that they just have shows with good budget. So on our side, when we say, hey, staff, Kinele event, and I need you to set up, it's a show of 5,000 people, and then you come with a budget of 100K. There's not much I can do with 100K for 5,000 people.
Sure.
On the other hand, that side, they book their artists, and then they get all their technical riders versus the amount of people they want to cater for, then book the company. You get what I'm saying? So in South Africa, we book the venue, then we book the production company without knowing what the production company must deliver. So Musa Keys wants a Roland, a Yamaha motif and that, but Shimza wants the exact opposite. And then that quote just increases last minute, and then the promoter is like,
Yeah.
and what are you paying for? So the sad part is that, number one, if you look at the amount of money that's spent, and Black Coffee tweeted about this the other day, if you look at the amount of money that is spent on production versus the amount of money that's spent at the VIP section and the bar just to get that place nice, it's a little bit unfair for you to come tell us afterwards to say the sound is good or bad. You know what I mean? So only South African DJs who host events have the production proper.
Correct, yes.
You have, not to be biased, but you have the Shimza one-man show. Production is on another level. You have Cassper's shows, production at another level. You have AKA's shows, production at another level. But then you get a promoter who wants to do a show, production is not at another level. dark experience, as Musa's saying now, dark experience, you know? And it's so sad that the lockdown happened now. A friend of mine, KG The Vibe, was going to throw a massive one into Mbisa. And I know that was
KG just joined the panel.
Is he?
Yeah.
Come on.
Sure, well, KG The Vibe.
Hey, KG! I got on, honestly. He was going to have a proper show in Tembisa in April, but the lockdown happened. But we're getting a lot of DJs that are coming into the event scene, and they are setting the bar now. Honestly speaking, they are setting the bar when it comes to that scene. They're overtaking promoters. I'm not even going to count international events, because international events have what we call a production Bible. So they send you the production Bible and they tell you our stage must be X. That's why Ultra South Africa will look the same as Ultra wherever. Miami, just that Miami now will have, if the stage was 10 by 12, Miami will have a stage 20 by 30, for example. But the design is the same. So when it comes to traveling and bringing that information back home, there's not much to bring back home, because anyway, if you bring it back home, there are no platforms for us to exercise that certain skill.
And execute what we saw that side.
Unless you're working on a big production like Idols and The Voice, etc. But yet again, those are international events. They come with their Bible to say, this is how we want it done. And then you have like people like our former lecturer, Christu, etc. They win them because they fit that Bible. You know what I mean? And having the toys to fool around with at home works. I think for me, what I've increased by my mixing by like 100% chilling at home now. But yeah, we'll see, man.
Where do you think the eventing space is going now in SA? Because it's not the same anymore. Like it's
It's gonna come back.
Like, yeah,
It's gonna come back.
you think so?
Remember, it has hit government harder than anybody else. It's gonna come back. The people that were making profit from Jojo of giving their friend a tender to do the June 16, for example, they are feeling it as well. Just that, yes, the most innovative will win throughout the lockdown. They will stay fed. And the jealous people the people that are chilling, watching at home are the ones that are jealous to say A, B, C, D, E, whatever they have to say.
Sure.
Having a good team around you is key if you want to grow. You can't do it alone. You cannot do it alone. Like in our team as She Music, I don't deal with much business. Am I lost when they talk about business? I'm not lost because I run a business myself. But I don't enter the business space.
We're no sound.
I work with technical. And it creates a team because everybody, we know exactly who to call for what. And it makes it easier to have a relationship going, knowing or no. We have a team, our team works like this and like that.
I mean, you're dropping a lot of gems here, man. I hope people are really appreciating the stuff that you're dropping here. Just finally, a couple of tips for mix engineers. I mean, live engineers who are trying to step up their game. What would you say to them, or younger you, actually?
A younger me, I'm young, man. I'm only 27.
Bro, there are 19-year-olds now who are playing with consoles.
I'm young. I'm only 27. There are 19-year-olds that are playing with consoles. Great.
Yeah.
In everything I do, I ask myself why.
Sure.
It's literally part of my life. When I go buy bread, I ask myself, do I need to go buy bread? Why do I want to buy bread? Do I want to eat or do I want to eat bread?
Yeah.
Do I need to take my car or can I walk because it's just around the corner? So I ask myself why. In the context of audio or entertainment, ask yourself why, man. Why do you need 15 speakers and not 2? Why do you need X and not Y? You know what I mean? And people are playing behind a console, but they're turning knobs. What knob are you turning? What does it do? Why do you need to turn? You understand what I mean? So that context is key. I don't want to call them young people, but I'll call them engineers. I mean, we all engineers trying to come up. But for me, it's context, man. A lot of people are just doing things because another one is doing it. Ask and say, why are you doing that? And listen to hear the change of that certain knob. You know, a lot of people are missing the analog steps. You know, you can tell when an engineer has went through analog and when engineer just touched digital, because analog teaches you how to patch, and that's one of the most important things ever. Patching from the beginning and having, because on digital I just click a button and I have my effects, or I click a button. Now analog, you have to build effects and route them in, but that concept is still the same on digital. You build your rack and then you incorporate your rack in and you patch it, insert, and you take it to an output. Don't be fooled by technology. The young guys, not to say the young guys, the up and coming guys. Technology changes every day. We have a firmware update. I don't know how many times I've updated the firmware on my S21 console. You update that firmware today, it has 24 inputs. You update it next month, it has 48 outputs. Now all of a sudden you're used to this console being a 24 channel. Tomorrow it's a 48 channel. Now you're confused because now there's much more to do and blah, 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 blah. It's 24. The hardware is still the same. You only see 21 faders, but I have 48 channels. How? So a lot of people just miss that kind of stuff, you know?
Do you also do like albums and stuff, like studio work?
So I leave that to my brother.
Yeah.
So I would do the recording. I would be at the recording to front of house, get my side laptop and do a recording. But at the same time, you do have recording engineers because recording is a career. Your gain structures and everything. Once you get a recording wrong, if there are people in the recording space, consistency is key. If you started the recording rubbish, end the rubbish. So that you're giving the post production audio guy, you give him consistency so that he knows that he's fixing the rubbish. Not when he's fixed the rubbish. Yeah, not when he's fixed the rubbish halfway through and then then it comes clean again. Now he needs to unfix the rubbish. But yeah, I leave that to my brother. But I still do some work. I mean, when I'm here, I have a little setup going on. Monitors going on. And so a lot of people think what's behind me is a backdrop and makes my Zoom meetings clean. It does that, yeah. But it's a diffuser, so it swallows all the sound, doesn't bounce off back to my ear or whatever. So what I'm hearing is literally the speaker at its position. So that's a nice little expensive thing to have behind me.
What's that? Are you HS8 there?
Hey?
Are you running HS8, your monitors?
It's Yamaha's.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Man, this was a powerful interview, bro. Yo.
We can still go on, man.
Let's roll, bro. Let's roll.
If you want to go on, you can still go on.
I feel like...
Or just ask the people. People, do you want us to go on or must we stop?
I've got questions here. Ooh, here's a juicy one.
You lucky that today I'm in a mood. Why is it that award shows sound sounds horrible? How can that improve? A lot of what award shows, I think we need to be specific because I don't want to generalize award shows.
Let's just create a scenario. Let's just say if an award show sounds bad, so how do we know?
Award shows, there are various kind of departments in sound at an event like an award show, right? You have the famous guy, the front of house, the engineer everybody sees. That's the famous guy, right? 2, then we have the monitor engineer who mixes what everybody hears in their ear, right? On a separate console. 3, we have a recording engineer, if we are recording that. But before recording, I put a broadcast engineer. That's in most scenarios, that's our Christus. Christu, who mixes the voice and idols, so the sound we hear on TV real time comes from Christu and them. And then we have a recording engineer. We do have, none of them are show operators, but we do have another department which is the systems tech. So he sets up, and like they never know, but they're the most important people at a show. He sets up the sound and makes sure it sounds the way you want it to sound like. So a lot of reasons why we say that award shows sound bad is maybe there's a bad engineer on the broadcast side. So the broadcast, we run a little Cat 5, or a BNC to run MUDI, and then we get those and we split those MUDI, and then our MUDI is like a protocol. So it's there's Dante and there's MUDI, there's UB MUDI and all the things. So run MUDI all the way outside of the venue, far away that he can't even hear anything. He's in his own little room or if he's fortunate enough, in an outside broadcast little van with good speakers like mine, and he's mixing. So he's still mixing live and nothing's recorded. So you might just have, and now the thing is mixing to TV is difficult. It's not easy. It's not your normal pop and place. You have uplink, you have downlink. You have to make sure that the delay between the movement of your lips and hearing the mic is in sync. And there's a lot of dynamics that comes into broadcast that is another mission. Not even the lockdown house party is live. We all record it to tape, but it's done live, because
Sure.
we don't do post-production on it. Only in scenarios like whereby we had Questa in last week, and then we come here, sit, mix it quickly, record it back, align the video and the audio together to make sure when they talk, it's aligned, and then send it back to channel. So yeah, broadcast is not an easy space. You don't just wake up to mix broadcast. You can mix it, but there are little thresholds, and channel has a compressor. You can't go above this level, but the compressor the threshold is lower than your master. So now you're just killing yourself and this and that. So it's a different ball game, man. You don't just wake up to do broadcast.
How did you adjust from the stage now and into a space where you're mixing for TV and millions are like enjoying your spine?
The concept is the same. You know, the concept is the same. Plug in something somewhere, patch it, route it out to the AV guys. The AV guys get it on their capture card and they record it to tape. Technically, the thing is the same. When it comes to lighting, doing lighting for live and doing lighting for TV, it's totally different. That's why we have a beast in there, Ladu Bueta. He's also young. I think he's 95 or 96.
Yeah, young.
But you can see the impact. On the AV, I have Clinton Fowler. So he does all the screens. And if you check on the season 2 design, we have what we call pixel map. So there are little lights. I think I had a drawing of this somewhere. When this idea came to my head, I put it down on some piece of paper and I sent it to Clint quickly. Let me just see if I have that piece of paper somewhere. Yeah. So this little piece of paper.
Oh, yeah.
If you check, this looks like the season 2 set. Can you see? So there's a screen on top. So these are lights. This is the top screen. This is the middle screen. That's written Lockdown House Party. This is the DJ. His head covers that middle screen a bit. And then this is the front bottom screen. So these little dots are those small lights that you see in between the screens. And those little lights are pixel mapped. So pixel mapping is mapping screens and lighting together. That's why when the screens go red and they're waving red and blue, those lights will wave red and blue at the position whereby the screens are going red and blue.
So the lights are now spanning with the screens?
The lights are with the screens, yeah. So when the screen goes red, lights automatically go red. And that creates consistency on the set. It creates consistency. But yeah, I mean, Lockdown House Party has been an experience. I've been running away from TV all my career, and the lockdown forced me to go to TV. And here we are on TV.
You're going to get a whole lot of TV gigs though, bro. Like just from set design. Because I mean, I've been following the show and season 2, episode 1, go on a stage. I was like, okay, these bros are fighting. Even from graphics, bro.
I also
from graphics.
I also want next. We still have the season is still long. The season is still long. If you guys think it's the same as season 1, if you are like, I'm not gonna pay my DSTV, pay your DSTV. Watch season 2 because it's gonna blow you away. We have beasts in there. We have good artists coming in, and you're just gonna be blown away. I hope that I don't mess up the sound, but I never. Yeah, that's it.
Were you involved in the stage design as well?
Yeah. So I run everything technical under Shimza. So everything technical, light, screens, camera work, sound, everything technical.
Shit.
Yeah.
Did you ever think you would be at this level though, bro? Because I mean, getting into ASC alone, and like for you to stick out and B, pioneer a whole new genre of TV shows. Because I mean, everyone's doing a lockdown now. Like they don't want to say
Yeah.
How like what do you think that has like the impact it's had on your career?
It had an impact and a half. I'm not going to lie to you. There's nobody who's not watching that show.
Sure.
Some talk about it, some don't talk about it. And if you want to know how many people are actually watching you, wait until something goes wrong.
Then they wanna, yes.
Wait until something goes wrong. We did a little bit of a mistake in season 1, episode 1, whereby the black motion mix was not great. And then out of the 40,000 tweets we got, people that don't even have Twitter are writing about it on the side to say what's going on. And that was episode 1. And that's when I knew that, okay, first,
there's a lot of people.
this has potential. And then that's been it, man. And then the day where we announced that season 1 is ending, the amount of phone calls I got. Like, you put me on for season 2. Hey, why is season 1 ending? Hey, this, hey, that. You know what I mean? So you actually realize that a lot of people are watching this. A lot of people are watching this. And it's like, wow. And for the same people to watch it, I mean, going into the 12th week now, because it was the first shoot day was the 27th. No, the first episode was the 27th of March, 27 April, 27 May, that's 2 months. 27 June will be 3 months. So yeah, it's been a while. It's about 10 weeks.
Yes, sir.
20 episodes.
It's daunting, bro, knowing like, yo, if I get one compressor wrong, like...
Nah, man, compressors are... A lot of people use compressors wrong. I see that question, I'll answer it now. A lot of people are using compressors wrong. What is a compressor? If you go on Google, you will find the definition of a compressor. A compressor is a tool that we use to reduce the dynamic range between low and high, loud and soft. So if the range between loud and soft is null, then why compress? You know what I mean? So, that's about the wrong stuff. As I was saying, hey?
He is asking, how does one
get involved with the music technical team? Any opportunities for aspiring production technicians? It's very difficult with She Music technical team because we're not a production company. Shimza is an artist who travels, and he travels with the team. So it's not like you hire and this and that. But they are, like, for me, I have my company, Ventso Productions. You can follow it Facebook or wherever. VENTSO Productions. And then that is where I can say I can not hire, but I can see potential in somebody and say, come, let's go. And take it from there. So it's like asking AKA to be his engineer. It won't just happen like that. You know what I mean? Because he already has a team and they travel and they are together like that. They don't hire and stuff like that. Only when they have specific events, like AK and the orchestra, that's when we had other 2 guys come in and assist us. And on the day we had Katla as well to assist me on monitors because I was mixing monitors for Keenan. And yeah.
They gave because all the major productions, you're there. Like, you've listed all the, like, sort of major productions, and, like, it sounds like it's the same gents, like, just, you know, working.
Relationships.
It sound good.
Relationships. The industry is bigger than we think. I mean, we're only looking at the commercial market, and the commercial market is a certain percentage. And what about the rest? Only about jazz. About timer, you know, somebody's dad listening to Soweto String Quartet. Those guys still gig at an odd 400,000 rand per show.
Shit.
And then you come down to the lower level. Boshoma Joes, who are catering, who are still big, but catering for different target market. So the industry is big, and the sad part is that we're focusing it on Cassper, aka Shimza. And you get what I mean? We're focusing it on these people, but it's bigger. There's jazz, there's classical music. There is, I mean, if you guys don't know, Sana Arena is booked until 2021. Unfortunately, lockdown happened. But if it wasn't for the lockdown, Sun Arena has an event every weekend with a different production company, a different artist, different crowd all the time. So it just shows you how much people are getting entertained somewhere or the other.
Damn. I think that's a great note to leave it on before Instagram cuts us out. We have like 3 minutes left. For everyone who's trying to reach you, for everyone who's trying to reach you, where can they hit you up? Some of the stuff you want to promote, just wrap it up real quick.
Sure, I don't have anything to promote. Just follow my company, man, Vince Productions. Follow my page. That's where I talk about a lot of and show a lot of like stage designs and how systems can fail or systems can go ahead. It's called Let's Push. So it's Let's Push on Instagram. But my personal page is Engineered by McStuff on... No, not McStuff. I've removed that McStuff.
What?
I remember now. I just decided about this thing. I decided about this thing 4 weeks ago. Like, McStuff, where does the Mac come from?
Yeah.
So, Engineered by Stuff, all my social media platforms. Twitter is Engineered by Stuff, but it is ENG_by Stuff because Engineered by Stuff is too long for Twitter, but it's ENG_by Stuff. Instagram, you guys can see it right there on top, Engineered by Stuff. Facebook, I have 5,000 friends, so I'm capped, but I need to
Please share your email real quick. We've got exactly 2 minutes left.
My email is bouleng@vento.co.za.
Oh wait, thank you so much, bro. This was a really dope interview. Shout out for
everybody can just screenshot it there. Sorry, you were saying? Sorry, you were saying?
Okay, shout out for replying to your WhatsApp because I really just met you like 3 days ago. Really appreciate the platform. And people really enjoyed this, man. I mean, gents are already texting me now on WhatsApp. But this is going to be on YouTube for everyone who missed it. Once again, thank you for your time, bro.
Cool, man. Peace.